Let's talk about the election. It's coming. Is it coming? Is it happening? When is it going to happen? We don't know. Is he going to call an election like next week? Should he wait 6 months? Like, what should he do? What do you think, Sarbjit?
I think it's going to come. I think it should come. I mean, with again, Donald Trump every day threatening to make us the 51st state, the trade war, him being very high in the polls as being the one that Canadians trust to actually be able to take on Trump and understanding the global economy and markets. This is his time to shine. And in 6 months, who knows what's going to happen, but also why wait 6 months when you can have the mandate and have the vote of confidence now instead of hearing the opposition constantly, saying you're an illegitimate prime minister and whatnot. So I think all signs would point to a quick election that will be called as soon as possible.
Okay, Cody, what do you think?
Yeah, I think the plan is I think Mark Carney is he said today that he's going to go over to France and he's going to go over to the UK. So I would suspect that pretty much any time after then, between whenever he gets back and between I guess it would be the 23rd or the 24th, that he'd call an election. Dominique LeBlanc already said when he was in Washington that there was going to be an election in a few weeks. So it looks like we're heading for an election that'll be probably somewhere around the time of May 5th.
Okay, that's a really, really good estimation. I like that. I agree with you. I don't know. There's a part of me that thinks if he spends a little bit of time governing through this crisis, especially, it might give him some time for Canadians to get to know him a little bit more. But you're also right. His polling is significantly better, than the Liberal Party was doing prior to Trudeau leaving. I don't know. A part of me thinks that if he gives this a little bit more time and he actually starts doing things differently, if he shows change rather than talking about change, that might give him a better opportunity against Pierre. But you're right. Why sit there for 6 months and have Pierre basically, call you an undemocratically elected leader, and he doesn't even have a seat. He'd have to find a seat. It's complicated for the average Canadian. People still don't know. Most people I talk to are still surprised that we have a prime minister that doesn't have a seat in the House. And I say this multiple times a day. The prime minister does not have to have a seat in the House, but people don't know that.
Just our system. It's just the way it works,
It's just
right?
the way it works. But
And
they're not
it's
comfortable with it. So you're right.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's also this specific issue that people are looking to him to help with. So if this issue gets resolved or this issue is not front and center anymore, people may go back to saying, okay, well, for the price of eggs or whatever I've got my bee in my bonnet about, or to end wokeness, I still want to vote for the other guy. So actually, it's this one issue, this one challenge that's happening right now that people are really putting their faith into Mark Carney in. And frankly, voters can be very strange. You can do a great job at something, and instead of thinking that, okay, I'm going to get the credit and I'm going to get reelected, like, okay, thank you. And then they forget and they get back to, whatever other grievance they had.
Basically, yes. They vote based on grievances, not
Yeah.
necessarily the
Yeah,
things that
you don't
you've
get a
done.
lot of credit. I'm
No,
noticing you don't get a lot of credit. You could get a dental plan, you get a national daycare plan, you could have a mostly good economy except for some cyclical recessions. But the day you're somebody's like, you know what, I'm just not happy about the price of eggs. All those accomplishments go out the window, and you're starting from square one.
That is how politics works, unfortunately. And leaders who know that, like Doug Ford, just to segue into provincial politics, leaders who know that seem to do very, very well.